Hello and welcome to Hiring Our Heroes virtual career community. We are excited to have you with us this afternoon, this morning, wherever you're dialing in from. We're excited to have you with us. My name is Marnie Holder. I'm the Director of Career Summits for Hiring Our Heroes. And today's session is all geared towards careers with Booz Allen Hamilton. I want to put in a big plug for their participation, not only today, and truly the reason why we're here as a sponsor to be with you, but also their participation in tomorrow's event. So if you have not registered already, we do have a virtual career fair tomorrow from 1 to 3 Eastern. If you need to register, it is open until 6 p.m. Eastern tonight. You can go to our website and register for that event. We have 17 different companies, Booz Allen being one of them, and we have over 15,000 jobs being represented tomorrow at that event. And Booz Allen, I know themselves, have over 3,700 of those jobs available. All right, before we get started and I get to introduce our awesome lineup from Booz, I wanted to just let you know that this is a recorded session. So if you miss it in its entirety, or you want to review it again, or you want to share it with somebody that didn't get a chance to join us today, it will be on our website and you will be redirected to that at the end of the session. So it is being recorded. Another little housekeeping. If you have a question for our presenters today, if you could put it in the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen. I know the chat is really tempting and there will be some information available in the chat, but if you do have a question for our presenters, please put it in the Q&A. All right, let's turn it over to the experts and the true rock stars of Booz Allen Hamilton. I will introduce Greg Rivera, who is with us from the Booz Allen Hamilton team. So Greg, I'll turn it over to you. Tommy, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
All right. All right, we go up one, please. Hi, everyone. My name is Tom Downs. Nice to virtually meet you. Obviously, it's going to have a little bit of time with you this afternoon, our time on the East Coast. I just want to give you a little bit more information along with my colleague, Greg Rivera, in regards to the opportunities that are available with Booz Allen, and also encourage you to, of course, meet with us again tomorrow at the actual job fair. But here also, once again, will be just a brief overview about our organization, our company, our culture, our benefits, and also I'll give you an opportunity to do some Q&A toward the end of the session. So thank you again for your time.
He is still on mute. Tom, do you want to go ahead?
All right.
Yeah, but I need to. No. I'm here, but the problem is no, I'm here, but I need to do this through my phone because I don't know if I'm coming in choppy or not.
Gotcha. Go ahead, Greg. We got you loud and clear.
This works. Yep.
Am I okay now? You can hear me okay?
Yes,
Yep.
you are.
All right. Perfect. Sorry about that. My apologies. But thank you, Tom. Thank you, Marnie. My name is Greg Rivera, and I am a lead associate here at Booz Allen. I've been with the firm for a little over 11 years, and I currently lead our military talent acquisition team. Within Booz Allen, we have our talent acquisition team as a whole, but we also have specialty channels. And our channel specifically deals with sourcing military candidates, bringing them into the firm, getting you a good understanding of what we do as an organization, getting an understanding of who you are as a team or as an individual, and what you're ultimately looking for. You know, the one thing that I hear often with candidates, no matter what branch of service they're coming from or what they're doing currently for their career, but is, hey, I've applied for these positions and I didn't hear anything back. I think that's the biggest pet peeve, if you will, of candidates, and we understand that. I can tell you that as our team, as we engage with folks through formats such as this, platforms such as this, we do a really good job in getting that understanding of what you're looking to do, and we are that conduit for you into that particular opportunity that you're looking to fulfill or to be a part of. So, we're trying to bring that human element, put that human element back into recruiting, and we've got a pretty robust team that allows us to do that. So I'm excited to share a little bit about myself with you, a lot about Booz Allen and what makes our firm such an incredible place to build a career. So next slide, please. For us as an organization, for us, our purpose is to empower our people to change the world, and that's driven by those values that you see there. For us, it's integrity. It's about doing things right and holding yourself as well as each other accountable. For unflinching courage, it's about speaking truth to power. It's maintaining your convictions, especially under duress, but also bringing bold thinking to it. We don't want you to think that, hey, just because you're in this lane and doing one particular job, that you can't kind of spread your wings a little bit and have that bold, brash thought that you want to put forward. We encourage that as an organization. That's part of being a great consultant. Passionate service. We want you to embrace the mission, listen and act with empathy. You got to make meaningful connections as well, not only amongst yourself and your within the folks that you work with at Booz Allen, but with your clients that you're dealing with on a daily basis. Champion's heart. That's pretty much pretty much a given. We want you to crave to be the best, bring joy in the pursuit of being the best. Also have a little bit of humility in being able to learn from failure. And then ultimately, compete with passion. That's important as well. For collective ingenuity, we want you to find the problem, fix the problem, find ways in which to solve it, be resourceful and creative, seek to make a difference. I think that is the one big thing that I often hear from candidates, transitioning military candidates or military candidates as a whole is, hey, I just want to be able to make a difference. We definitely encourage that. And be devoted to the team. That's extremely important as well. Next slide, please. So Booz Allen, we are a diverse firm with tons of experience, which is great for our clients, but it also means our employees get the best of both worlds. You've got a world-class organization gives you stability from an employment perspective. We're, established company with numerous resources, but it's also paired with the ability and the agility of small collaborative teams. You remember the old Verizon commercials, can you hear me now guy? That's kind of like what Booz Allen is all about. You've got, if you're working in your lane and you are trying to solve a problem for your client and your client talks about another capability that they are wanting to have solutions for, hey, you may not know the answer to those and be the resident expert in that other capability, but you've got the Booz Allen team behind you, and that's extremely important and something that we definitely encourage for folks. We want you as a federal consulting firm. We want you to understand and be able to be a really good consultant. That's first and foremost. Understanding your clients is one thing. That's completely different. But being a consultant and understanding, the needs of your client, understanding the resources that you have available to yourself to be able to get to the client are extremely important. We employ over 27,000 people, $7.5 billion in revenue last year, headquartered in McLean, Virginia. You can look there. Some of the one that I'm most proud of is 29% of our employees currently are veterans. That number is actually creeping up for the calendar year. When you add in the military service members as well as spouses, we are at almost 37%. We're at 36.72% of the hires that we've made this calendar or this fiscal year. Our fiscal year runs April 1st to March 31st, but 36.72% are former military, are veterans, or spouses. So great thing there. Over a third of our employees have professional certifications and or higher education degrees, as well as a high percentage of our employees are cleared as well. And then a fifth of our workforce is under 30. So one thing I know I was guilty of it when I was on active duty. That's one thing I didn't say. I'm former Navy, by the way, Navy supply officer. But when I was on active duty, I worked around Booz Allen folks during my time on active duty, and I always thought of Booz Allen as being DoD centric. We're not. While it is a large chunk of what we do, it's less than 50% of what we do as an organization. So when you look at where our headquarters are in Northern Virginia, we're all the departments. Again, we're a federal consulting firm, so all the departments are in the Wash metro area. But when you look regionally, we tend to be more focused in the DoD world because we don't have, for instance, I live in Florida. downtown Orlando doesn't have a 400-person Department of Treasury building, but there are different commands actually in and around the Orlando area, as well as Tampa, Miami, Jacksonville, the Panhandle. So we tend to be, like I said, a little bit more DoD-centric within the regions. Next slide, please. Our business is built on 5 distinct capabilities, as you can see there: consulting, analytics, digital solution, engineering, and cyber. Just like these 5 capabilities, with them, there's a large range of clients and missions and projects that we serve with each capability. But to highlight some, as consultants, we've partnered with pediatric hospitals to fight childhood diseases, worked with the FDA to get drugs to patients faster, and help the Army support wounded warriors. As analysts, we have worked with the IRS to save billions in tax fraud, been able to use machine intelligence to streamline manufacturing, and adapt mathematical and predictive models to deliver healthcare insights. From a cyber perspective, we've studied the minds of cyber enemies. As we know, cyber is definitely one of those things that is the constant forefront, and you're always hearing of hacks, but helping defend our nation's infrastructure is something we're very proud of. As digital problem solvers, we help veterans get their benefits, work with the Defense Threat Reduction Agency to keep weapons of mass destruction from terrorists, and make sure overseas military personnel can vote. As engineers, we help build battlefield sensors, develop renewable energy sources, and work with the Air Force to protect our airspace. I've had the fortunate circumstance, as prior to me assuming the role as the lead of the military talent acquisition team, I was a client-facing recruiter, and I worked across all these capabilities. I've supported numerous teams in staffing and getting folks geared up and excited about Booz Allen, and have been fortunate enough to work on quite a few programs that were in some ways life-changing for me professionally, but they were also life-saving for the clients that we provided the consulting efforts for. Next slide, please. Our business, when you look at it, we're also organized into groups. There are 5 groups in total. Kind of going back, you look at our 5 capabilities, we have these 5 groups. So, within corporate leadership, you've got global defense, which consists of pretty much everything DoD. For the most part, you got aerospace, which is Air Force, Army. We got an Army account, we got a JCC account, Navy Marine Corps account, and a commercial side as well. From a national security group, we've got cyber, defense, military intelligence, national agencies, and international. And then with our civilian services group, you've got health, finance, energy, economic development, justice, homeland security, and transportation. As I mentioned before, we work across all the departments. The SIG, which is our strategic innovation group, they're very innovative in what they do, especially from a digital transformation perspective, and AI. AI is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And they've got a lot of neat cutting edge things that they're doing within AI, as well as advanced cyber, VR world, and augment in the AR world. The enterprise services group, which Tom and I sit, that's the behind those. So those 2 other groups, or those 4 other groups, I should say, global defense, national security, the civil services group, and the SIG, are all client facing. So they're working with clients on a day in, day out basis. Hand in hand, helping solve problems and providing the deliverables that we are asked to provide. And then with the enterprise services group, those are the behind the scenes folks. So you've got the business development folks, corporate affairs, contracting and procurement, pricing, knowledge management, human resources, information and security services, real estate and facility operations, and ethics, legal, and compliance. And as I mentioned, Tom and I fall into the ESG. We are in the people services. We're within people services, and then talent acquisition to break that down even more. Next slide, please. One thing that I've as I mentioned before, in the teams that I've supported over the years, I've pretty much supported and placed people in almost all these locations, not all of them, not all 400, but quite a few, especially on the international side. But, we have 400 locations in 20 countries. So in the Middle East, when you look at the Middle East, North Africa, we have offices in Cairo, in Abu Dhabi. In Europe, we have clients that are in Venice, other areas of Germany, other areas of Italy, throughout Germany, as well as UK and Belgium. We have a presence in Singapore, Okinawa, Seoul, and Guam. Not sure if anybody here has ever been stationed in Guam. I was from 94 to 96. I know the islands changed, but that's in our Asia Pacific. In the U.S., you look at that map, we've got folks everywhere doing some really cutting edge things for our clients, providing those solutions and making sure that we are providing, again, those deliverables. Next slide, please. How we work from a benefits commitment to work-life balance. That's the one thing I can say in my 11 plus years of being at Booz Allen. We believe strongly in a work-life balance. We work hard, but we play hard. We want people to go and enjoy their time off. It's always very well earned. We've got from our PTO program to our employee recognition, our employee referral. We've got flex ed benefits, corporate discount program, which allows you to get discounts from, air travel, buying an automobile, you name it, a vast array of goods and services through our discount program. We also foster for folks. We encourage folks to bring us ideas. We have idea festivals all the time. We have garages where people can throw their ideas into the garage, and we have contests based on those ideas and those different the idea fest that we have, the festivals that we have. We have a Yammer site within Booz Allen, which is kind of like our own version of Facebook, where things are often for us, ideas are exchanged, people are networking. It's a great way in which for folks to really get their ideas out there, but also to lean on colleagues and get an understanding of other things that are out there. One thing that I didn't mention earlier, while you may come into Booz Allen based on one of those 5 capabilities, you may start Booz Allen within one of those capabilities. You may not necessarily end in one of those capabilities. I have hired folks over the years that came in analytics, and now they're doing cyber work, or they're doing digital solutions work, or they're working, doing both, within the SIG. They come in and working in one account. So we definitely encourage the ability for you to move around. It's something from a professional growth in development perspective. You see up there under our Flex Ed program, we have something called Udemy, which allows you to go in and take advantage. We have over 2,000 in-person, when they are in person, or right now virtual training classes that people can take advantage of from a professional growth and development perspective. So, it's one of those things where we want you to be able to grow if that's what you want to do. We offer you the resources to be able to do that. We have a very robust LifeWorks and wellness incentive program. Our wellness incentive program, when we do promotions for that, you'll get up to $700 into your Flex Ed account per family. And then LifeWorks is a pretty cool program in that it allows you, under our employee assistance program, allows you to get counseling for whatever you need to potentially have counseling for. It's something that is confidential. It's something that you're allowed to do with pure confidentiality. You get 8 sessions that are free. And then from there, you may have to pay, but it's still, you get that as part of the LifeWorks benefits. And then you've got the non-tangibles, the leadership philosophy, the cultivating, the two-way feedback. We're constantly doing, I'm constantly talking to Tom. Tom is my boss, but I'm also talking to his boss. We definitely encourage a two-way communication, and we do skip level calls all the time. So it keeps everybody in a checks and balance perspective, but it gives you as an employee, you feel like you have a voice. Next slide, please. So when we look at our veteran population, we recognize what veterans bring to the firm, what they bring to just the workforce in general. Me being a veteran, I believe strongly in the leadership, the work ethic, the discipline, the integrity that military members bring, and that's part of what I love. Part of the reason I love being here, because we instill that as a corporation. But we understand the military trains people to lead by example as well as through direction. Veterans, as you all know, understand the practical ways to manage behavior for results, even in some of the most trying circumstances. And you understand the dynamics of leadership for both from a hierarchical structure as well as a peer structure. From an accelerated learning curve, proven quick leaders. So, you look at that learning curve. A lot of times in the military, we're known to do more with less. You've proven that ability over and over to be able to learn new skills and concepts, and that's something that we definitely value as an organization. Reliable team players, teamwork. We understand that veterans understand how genuine teamwork grows. But it's not just a responsibility for yourself, but also for your colleagues. It's more than just you. It's about the mission and what you're trying to do collectively as a team. Duties in the military, I know, involve both a blend of individual and group productivity. And that's something, again, when you look at Booz Allen, you have the ability to do that. From a diversity and inclusion and action perspective, we've worked side by side during our time in the military with individuals, regardless of, race, gender, geographic origin, ethnic backgrounds, religion, economic status, as well as mental and physical, capabilities. And you learn to develop cooperation with many types of individuals. Again, something that we are here. We're a very diverse organization. As far as performance under pressure, that kind of goes hand in hand with, I think you can kind of combine that in with the proven quick learners. You understand tight schedules and with limited resources, and developing kind of the groundwork in order to meet those schedules and to accomplish the priorities, being able to set priorities and then putting forth the effort to accomplish those priorities. Respect for procedure. When you look at understanding accountability and procedures, it's, military members gain a unique perspective of the value of accountability. You're accountable for yourself as well as others a lot of times. Being able to grasp your place within an organization, becoming responsible for subordinates and subordinates' actions, as well as being able to understand the actions of others within the supervisory ranks, is something that is paramount to be able to be successful here at the firm. From a familiarity with technology and globalization trends, because of your experiences in the service, I know you're aware of international and technical trends that are pertinent to business and industry. You bring a kind of a global outlook to and technical, a technical savviness to all enterprises, which is important, again, for us to be able to help our clients achieve their mission. From an integrity and ethics perspective, I kind of hit on this before when I was talking about some of our core values, but military members have a unbridled track record of integrity, and a lot of that, especially for folks that are highly cleared. You have to go through rigors to not only get a clearance, a high clearance, but also to maintain it. So that, having that type of integrity definitely translates into qualities of sincerity and trustworthiness. As far as health and safety, safety is paramount in the military if you're going to be able to fulfill your mission. Your safety is important to whatever branch you're serving, but the safety of others is often a requirement that you have to make sure you're abiding by in maintaining. So that's something that for us, we value the safety of our employees, and no matter what they're doing in whatever realm they're doing it, it's extremely important for us. And then the triumph over adversity attitude. In this day and age with op-tempo the way it is, military members have to deal with quite a bit of adversity, no matter where you've been or what you've done, whether it's leaving your family for long periods of time or being in combat zones multiple times over and over. That endurance, that stamina and flexibility is something that we value as an organization. All right, this gives you kind of just an overall view of Booz Allen and what, as I said, that fast fact of 30, we're a little bit above that. That's actually 30%. It's a little over 30% that are actually here. We started below that I call that a Mendoza line. 30% is my Mendoza line as far as military affiliated folks within the firm. But we're well above that now. 93% are hold a clearance, and when you look at the majority of our geographies, like I said before, they're strongly inhabited by Department of Defense clients. One thing that we definitely take pride in is our focus on military spouses. We do take part in the corporate fellowship program and the military spouse fellowship program offered through HOH. We currently have 15 fellows that are in our cohort, 2 of whom recently just received offers, 2 of our spouses that just received offers over the last week. And now we have over a 90% rate of success of fellows that we hire fellows that we bring on that we eventually make an offer to and hire. The one thing that I often get questions on is, hey, what about military service after the fact? Folks that want to stay in the Guard and Reserve. We definitely promote that. We have folks that numerous folks that I've hired over the years, people that I still know within the firm, that go on military leave because they get orders. Your job's still going to be here when you get back. And then there you can see for the 10th year in a row, we just received Forbes. We're on Forbes best places to work for vets. But there's some other accolades there. I won't go through all of them, but we walk the walk, we talk the talk in terms of bringing military in. We understand the value that you can bring to an organization. There's so many internally within Booz Allen. One thing I didn't mention, we have an armed services network that offers mentorship. So it's not like you actually, I'm leading the charge right now of that. I'm leading a program there. I'm developing a sponsor program for the ASN that is going to be, we're going to roll that out in August of this year. And it's going to allow folks that are coming into the firm have a mentor, somebody that will help bring them along through the trials and tribulations for those that are leaving active duty, but get you acclimated into the firm. Both for folks, again, that are leaving active duty, but also folks that are new to Booz Allen. It's going to be available for all. So next slide, please. All right. As you could, I've already kind of alluded to this, but we're a natural home for veterans and military spouses who are looking to grow their expertise. And for us, for you, if you have a desire to continue to serve, this is an organization that is meant for you. And, you know, you'll be empowered to shape your career. Next slide. All right, that brings us to the Q&A.
That's right, the best part. So I know Tom has been busy behind the scenes answering a lot of your questions, and I'm
getting carpal tunnel, Marley.
Yeah, I know you're busy back there.
I've been seeing you type away there, Tom. I wasn't sure what for, but
your camera, Greg. Now we can see your awesome Booz Allen
sorry.
shirt. There you go. I did just want to turn it over to you, Tom. I know you answered some of those already, but are there a few that would be beneficial for the rest of the audience?
Yeah, once again, this is Tom. Thank you. One of the kind of qualifying questions people are asking, you know, that tends to kind of be the theme right now, and we will get to all these, I promise, is just in regards to what does the future state of work look like in regards to, you know, working in a pandemic environment. So just to answer that, as a general statement, right now we are all remote within reason. By that, I mean with reason caveating that some jobs do require that you go on site. For example, if you work in a skiff, of course, you can't do skiff work in your basement kind of thing. But outside of that, we are all, you know, working remotely until at least 1 April. But that is still a penciled in date on the calendar, which will more than likely flex to the right at some point in time. We have not made that decision yet, though. But even post-pandemic, what's that work environment going to be like in the office? We can't have elbow to elbow, you know, work environments like we're accustomed to in the past. So that will be a new model of kind of, you know, navigating once we get there as well. Will it be like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, this group comes, Tuesday, Thursday, that group comes, or just whatever it's going to be? We're still navigating that, and I'm sure the firm is at large has got that navigated, but it's not trickled down to Greg and I just yet. But once again, there'll still be remote opportunities regardless. We've got associates, team members that have never been inside of a Booz Allen office other than a once a year event, or if any time ever. So like, for example, Greg's in Orlando, Florida, and that's completely great. I'm in outside of Alexandria, Virginia. So, and I actually joined the company less than 2 months ago. I onboarded and did my entire assimilation process to include interviewing virtually. So we are still hiring, you know, in a virtual format. And if and when we do go back to an in-person office environment, there will still be remote opportunities available. And then one more kind of theme question, and we can go to anything else live, and I can keep hacking away at my responses. Is, you know, one of the questions was, if we have previously applied to a role at Booz Allen and we were not selected by way of a system auto reply saying that we not considered you, or if you went through the interview process and weren't considered, can I still apply? And the answer is a solid yes. Based off one of those responses, be it from the computer, you know, thanks but no thanks kind of email, or if you received an actual interview process or did a phone screen but weren't selected to move forward. It's a different time, it's a different job, it's a different, you know, tempo. Not to say that you weren't worthy the first time, but it's an opportunity now that if you see something that you are indeed interested in and qualified for, we would highly encourage you to apply and move forward in the process. And just don't get frustrated. You know, as Greg mentioned a minute ago, a lot of organizations that you're going to have a conversation with, and it's just kind of a reality. We could post a job today, or company X can post a job today, and tomorrow, by this time tomorrow night, there could be 500 people that apply to it. You know, so that recruiter who's actually interfacing with you on screening steps, he or she might have 35 open jobs that they're trying to navigate through. And so Tuesdays and Wednesdays might be, you know, these 10 jobs. Wednesdays and Fridays might be these 10 jobs they're navigating and having conversations with candidates. So just be patient, you know, understand that it's a process. But last there is, you know, don't be, I would just kind of encourage you, be it once again for Booz Allen or any other organization, you know, don't be a serial applier. And by that, it's just be strategic, you know, pick 3 to 5 jobs that you want to go after. You've read through the qualifications. You don't need to meet every single qualification, you know, but you should have something on there versus nothing on there. But I would encourage you to apply to 3 to 5 jobs and then pause, let those jobs play out. And as one drops off, apply to one more. But at no point in time should you have more than 3 to 5 live applications on any employer's job site. And the reason being, on the backside, when Greg or Tom, the recruiter, opens up your profile, we can see every active opportunity that you've applied to in the organization and what's in flight right now and what's happened 6 years ago or 6 days ago. And if you've got 25 or 35 open roles that you've applied to, what's this all about? And once again, that's just, and if you might, of course I can't see you or hear you, but it happens every day. I've had this conversation probably 1,000 times, be it at 2 previous employers or now here at Booz Allen. And you just got to be strategic. You got to be purposeful. You got to be, it's for those that are in the military on the call, we're looking to deploy. You're going to do your sandbox exercise. You're going to do your pre-planning, all your planning and replanning, and then you're going to actually move out for your deployment. Same thing. Now your job is to find a job. Be purposeful, be strategic, and don't just click. Pick the 3 or 5 that you want, apply, and let's see what happens from there. And that's it, Marnie.
Yeah, good stuff. I was seeing a couple other questions come up about the hiring process timeline and just when should they engage with you all as a recruiter if they do want to kind of target and hone in on certain positions. Talk through that. Yep.
Yeah, Marnie, I'll take that. I'll just go through. I've got the Q&A up here, so I'll go through kind of from the top down if you're okay with that. Good afternoon. Does Booz Allen offer or have any internship and apprenticeship programs? Yes, we do. As I mentioned, we do the corporate fellowship program and the military spouse fellowship program with Hiring Our Heroes. If you are in the window and you want to be a part of that, I strongly encourage you to take advantage of it. It's an incredible way in which you can continue to interview a company. For folks that get selected for that program and go to work for an organization. For the spouses, it's 6 weeks. For the service member, it's 12 weeks. But it allows you to test drive the organization as well as them, seeing what you're all about as well. So definitely encourage you to take part in that if you can. How far out from retirement would you recommend talking to recruiters to best prepare to come on board? This is kind of my general rule. If you're a year out and you haven't started the process, you're too late. I mentioned earlier that if you reach out to us, either myself or someone from our team, we meet you at an event, we're gonna have conversation. For folks that are a year out, we'll do that cursory introduction, get an idea of what it is you're looking for, where you want to be geographically, and then just kind of set a timeline, if you will. Your resume is going to definitely change over the course of that year. Your geographic preferences, your salary, your top job type, the thing that you want to do may change as well. But come up with that. We'll start out with a game plan and a timeline, and work toward that. Getting as you start really diving into companies and opportunities, you got to really peel back the onion. And what I mean by that is don't just look at an industry, but don't just look at one company in the industry. Look at as many companies as industry as you possibly can. What makes them different? What separates the top company in that industry from the bottom company in that industry? When you're looking at industries, you want to look to see what's cyclical, meaning, when times are good, are they going to continue to hire? Are they going to continue to grow? What about when times are bad? What does that industry do when times are bad? But getting back to it, when you're at about the 90-day window, actually probably a little bit before that, probably about the 100-day window, we start really honing in on those opportunities in which you're qualified for and you want to apply to. And then for us, we act as that conduit to that hiring team. As you say, hey, I'm interested in these 3 positions. Can you tell me more about them? Boom. Yeah, we can. And then our job is to get you in front of that hiring team and ultimately to get you interviewed and ultimately get you hired. So what percentage of leadership are veterans? Currently, I don't want to. I believe it's just under 20%. I think it's at right around 19%. I could be wrong, but I believe it was 17% at one point. It ticked up to about 20. I want to say it's 19. So I'm currently an MBA student graduating in May. I have no experience in consulting. Is it required to apply? Is it required to apply to those positions? No. Having experience in consulting isn't a requirement at all. We'll teach you how to be a consultant. What's required is that you, when you're looking at a job, that you fill those requirements. Most jobs, not most jobs, all jobs that we post have the must-haves and the nice-to-haves. You have to be able to answer yes to those must-haves in order to be considered. If you don't, don't bother applying. For folks that don't have a clearance, you want to look for opportunities that say ability to obtain a clearance. That means that you can start that particular role without a clearance. We'll sponsor you for the clearance, and away you go. Can you post your LinkedIn profile so we can add you? Yes, I will do that. I will do that before we end here. I'm a spouse, and I would like to know what is the best way to gain fellowship with Booz Allen. I think I answered that question already. Is there a recruiter to contact for potential employment opportunities? Yes, you'll get my contact info here at the end. Does that fellowship program extend to veterans as well? Unfortunately, no. It extends to folks that are currently on active duty and that are within a 180-day window of leaving active duty. So unfortunately, no for that, Cedric. But contact me and we'll have a conversation offline. Can you discuss the Tech Excellence Program more as related to cyber and IT? Yes. The Tech Excellence Program is something that we started, it's about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago at this point. But basically what that program allows us to bring in folks that have, it's primarily folks that have a technical background and want to, and may have, in some cases, may have a certification in the digital space or within cyber, or even within, within IT. And what it does is it's pretty stringent. I mean, it's not easy, but we hire you and you basically go through a boot camp, if you will, that will allow you then to, you're given all the tools, as far as Booz Allen goes, but you're given additional training that pertains to whatever part of that Tech Excellence Program, whether it's, again, a cyber piece or an analytics piece or a digital solutions piece, that will allow you to, hey, once you're done, you're going to then be put on XYZ type project or ABC project. Have you worked with graduates from the Vet Tech Program and or coding? Yeah, so yes, I'm actually, the Vet Tech Program, for those of you that aren't familiar with it, it's a program that's offered through the VA, and it allows you to go and get certifications in various different, primarily digital platforms, cyber platforms as well, for those that are interested. And we work with several of the providers. We have dialogue with several of the providers that provide that training. As people are getting ready to graduate, I get folks that start reaching out to me and start applying to positions that they are interested in and are qualified for. Roughly how long from retirement do you recommend really pursuing job listings? I'm 9 months up now. Again, you can look at an opportunity. I kind of talked about this earlier, but you can look at an opportunity, but 9 months from now, 9 days from now, that opportunity is probably not going to be there. And oh, by the way, 9 months from now, an opportunity that wasn't there, or 9 hours from now, an opportunity that wasn't there is now suddenly there. That's the crazy part about consulting. Things often change. What we have today, we may not have tomorrow, and vice versa. But it's constantly changing. And again, going back to it, roughly at about the 100-day mark is when you really start fine-tuning the optics and really honing in on what it is you're going to ultimately try to interview for, I should say. Is the El Segundo location at the Air Force Base? No, it's not. It's off. It's off. Good afternoon. There are a lot of viable job positions posted online based on location, interest, and position. For someone interested in gaining more information about a specific position, how would you recommend someone go about this process? You'll get my my contact information here at the end. I have within our team, remember those capabilities that I mentioned earlier. I have 3 recruiters who work in those particular lanes, those 3 lanes. And those will be the folks that I forward your information to, and they'll reach out and start the process. How long is a typical interview process? Tempo, weeks, months, multiple interview, after interview, et cetera. Thanks. Great question. We've fine-tuned our process. From a talent acquisition perspective, we're always banging our heads against the wall at hiring teams that are like, we want them to interview with, 6 different people. No, let's get 6 different people together at the same time. Now, understanding people's op tempo, but in requirements that they have with their client and deliverables that they're trying to get to their clients, not everybody's always available. But, usually when we do interviews, it's usually anymore. Right now, everything's virtual, but it's usually a panel interview. So you'll have 2 or 3 folks on the line. And there's many teams out there that one interviews it. We have a lot of interview days that we host, virtual interview days that we host within those certain capabilities that I mentioned earlier every week. So a lot of times those hiring managers, they have to come ready to make offers pretty much on the spot. So like I said, we've really fine-tuned our process and made it much more streamlined. But on average, if no more than 2 weeks, or I want to say no more, on average 2 weeks. It could take, it could take a day, it could take a month. So it's usually about a 2 week from the time that somebody first screens you to the time you do your first interview, or hopefully your only interviews, I should say, and then you get the offer. I'm a transitioning NCO with 25 years that has worked operations at every level, culminating at core level, working with several of your associates. Every job posted states a requirement of BA. Not every job. No, there are jobs out there that don't. I mean, maybe jobs that you're specifically looking for, but not all of our jobs require a BA or BS degree. Does experience weigh in, or is education a disqualifier? It depends. In some cases, depending on the type of fill that's needed and the hard skill sets that the client is looking for, you have to sometimes get an exception. It's not the norm, but there have been cases where exceptions have been made from a client perspective, just based on the person's experience. So while not completely disqualifier, it's not something that not having the education, if it's asking for education, it usually is, but again, there's a percentage sometimes that it's not. I'm a former U.S. Army logistics personnel. I'm
typing it out right now. Say my hand.
You answered that one? Okay. Okay.
Good,
Tom
nice.
answered that one. Okay.
No, I was about to. Go ahead and finish it. No, please answer that.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're not done. Okay. All right. I'm a former U.S. Army logistics personnel. It seems like BAH has a lot of logistics positions related to the Navy, of course, because Navy supply is the way to go. But not so much with the Army. Are there any Army-related logistics positions in the Virginia, D.C. area? I can't speak for sure off the top of my head. I don't know of the almost 3,800 positions that we have. I'm not sure which are there. You can go on the website and determine. You can do your search based on location. But we do have Army clients in the Wash Metro area. It's just a matter of whether or not they're looking for logistics folks. I'm a military spouse with years of management experience, including in DoD, as well as a clearance. I am looking to pivot into management consulting. Can you provide any tips on how to get my resume noticed to make this shift and become part of the Booz Allen team? I think we have the slide up right there. Yeah, send me your resume. You can also, I encourage you, within Booz Allen, we have what's called a military talent community where you can go in and set parameters based on the type of job, the opportunity, the location that you're looking for. You can receive alerts for those specific type of jobs. You'll get email alerts every day. There's also information that we send out to military candidates, just highlighting things that we're doing within the military community that you can receive as well to just get an understanding of what we do. So it's just a matter of going on, building that profile, joining the military talent community. And then, like I said, feel free to reach out to me as well. Tom, did you just answer that one? That it kind of just went away. Okay.
Yeah, there might be.
I am military.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I am military and civilian certified in safety. Do you guys have any safety positions overseas? Again, I'm sure we do, and I apologize, I don't have all of our listings up in front of me, but just would recommend, hitting the website. If you find anything that's of interest, shoot me an email, and we'll go from there.
Wow, you guys covered a lot of ground in just not even quite an hour, but well done. And thanks to everyone that posed all those questions and participating. We really appreciate that. And put in another plug for the team Booz Allen. They're going to be at the event tomorrow. So if you haven't registered, please register. It's open till 6 p.m. tonight. You can see the event registration on our website, hiringourheroes.org/events. It is listed, the government contracting and consulting event tomorrow. We do have some other upcoming virtual career fairs. So if you're looking for different industries beyond the government side, we do have some others upcoming. So look on our website for those. All right.
And
well, go for it.
I'm gonna put my. Why isn't the chat's not coming up for me? I'm clicking on it and it's not coming up.
The LinkedIn thing. Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on.
I can put it in.
The Q&A. Yeah, that's weird. Oh, there it is. It's on another screen. My apologies. My LinkedIn profile is not on the chat. Oh, I just sent it to the panelists. Hold on.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Tom, we did the same. Tom and I just did the same thing. We both sent it just to the panelists. All right, I'm sending it to everybody. So there's my LinkedIn. There's our LinkedIn profiles there. Please feel free to reach out, and definitely appreciate not only your time this afternoon. Well, Marty, I'll let you go because you're probably gonna.
No, I want to turn it over to you all. It's your show.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, no, I want to thank everyone for their time. More importantly, I want to thank you for your service. As a veteran myself, I truly understand the sacrifices that you all have made, continue to make, and as well as your families. So thank you for that. I always tell folks, I can't promise you I can hire you, but I can promise you that I can be a resource for you. So if you have any questions about anything, not specifically, it doesn't necessarily have to be about Booz Allen, just questions in general, from an interviewing skills perspective to resume to whatever the case may be, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Awesome. And Tom?
Yeah, same. And I did mention as well, 'cause Greg isn't an Navy guy, but you can't hold that against him. I'm an Army guy. It's 21 years in the Army. But yeah, just kind of echoing that, Greg and I have both been in the same situation as you all, to include our spouses. We understand, and it's just helpful when organizations like Booz Allen or other organizations out there that you're going to be researching and applying to, have teams like this in place that understand the journey, can empathize, sympathize, whatever you want to call it, with you, and help you navigate the process. You utilize us and our peers across other organizations to help you with this. And, we're a firm believer in to help or to hire. And if, like Greg mentioned, we're here to, give you advice, be your LinkedIn buddies, have conversations with you. But please don't look at us as a serial mentor or anything like that. It's like, we're here to help, but we have, 5 of these things a week that we attend. So just be patient with our responses. And just, make sure that you're, once again, being purposeful. 3 to 5 jobs that you apply to. One great question that did come across a minute ago was about salary. As you went through your transition classes, or if you're about to go through your transition classes, it's kind of like the big thing in the room that you try to avoid talking about. But I'm telling you right now, the first 30 minutes on the phone call you're going to have with the recruiter, it's going to be asked. You're going to have to explain what your salary expectations are, because he or she does not want to waste their time, and they don't want to waste your time. So a good way to answer that, though, to kind of help you navigate that, is don't fixate on a number, fixate on a range. For a basic example, let's say that you want to make $100,000. Hey, Greg, I'd be great. I'd be really comfortable if I could have somewhere in the range of $100,000 to $110,000 for my base compensation, but I am flexible. Don't, once again, you're not getting wed to a number. You're not, you're not going to turn down a job for $1,000. So just, keep that in mind as you have those salary discussions. Set a range that's comfortable for you and your family, but also caveat that with the recruiter that you are flexible and you want to know more about their total compensation package. And the total compensation package is going to be what's your 401k, how much is employee stock match, do you have wellness benefits? And Greg mentioned, the flex ed, I understand we're all not trying to be PhDs, and if you are, high five to you. But for those of you who want to get some kind of a certification, and that was one of the questions, or just any other kind of thing besides traditional schooling, we have a unique opportunity where Booz Allen has, of course, tuition reimbursement like every company does. No, not great thing, high five, move on. But flex ed is even more critical because you can use that for anything. If you want to become a welder, if you want to get a certification in, basket weaving, whatever it is you want to do, we pay for that. And I've been out of the military for it'll be 10 years this fall, and I've been with 3 other employers, and I've never experienced that until I got to Booz Allen. Usually it has to be a letter generating exercise for you to get tuition reimbursement, but we have both. So just one more way, that's the total compensation umbrella you're talking about. How much do they, like we have a matching program because of the pandemic, our employer gave out money and matched people as far as regards to their flex spending account for daycare. I have 2 young kids. Very pricey expenditure for those of you parents who can understand, and they help match some of that money. So there's things like that will help me join a firm versus being, once again, wed to a dollar amount. It's going to keep me from joining a firm because of $1,000 or $500, whatever the dollar amount it is. I know money is important, not just to me, to everybody, but just keep that in mind. Have a range. Don't get wed to a number. Explain to them that you're flexible and understand what the total benefit package is that's going to entice you to join or not join the organization. That's it.
Right on. Wow. Working it right up till the very end right there. So go visit Booz Allen Hamilton's booth tomorrow and get connected to your next career. Thank you both, gentlemen. Thank you everyone that joined us today. If you want to see this again in its entirety or share it with others, down at the bottom of your screen is where you can find this recording. And we look forward to getting heroes hired. If you do get hired, we want to hear your story. So tell us all about it. All right, everyone, be well, and thanks again.